Blog Talk Radio.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot, oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girlz. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only, Supernatural Girlz.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girlz Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my very healthy co-host, Patricia Kirkman. PK, how you doing tonight?
Doing fine, actually. In spite of being held down, pinned down, and locked up, I think we're all doing pretty good.
Well, that's great. You really have made it through this whole thing without a scratch. I'm so proud of you.
Well, I am too. It's amazing. I keep waking up and pinching myself trying to figure out who I really am.
Well, good for you. We hope everybody listening is safe and sound tonight and feeling healthy and continues to be healthy throughout all of what we're going through. And we've got a great show tonight because we have Tom Paladino. He's going to be talking about scalar energy and Tesla. And then at 8 o'clock, Itzhak Beery is joining us, our favorite shaman, and he's going to be talking about the energy that shamans handle. Is it scalar? We're going to find out what he thinks. And he's also going to comment on how shamans see this coronavirus outbreak. How do they see this, and what do they think this is all about? So we're going to get some extra insight from both gentlemen tonight. We're very excited to have them. And first, we're going to start with you, PK. You've looked into a few things for us.
Well, I'm just kind of bouncing all over the place. I don't think there's a direct route to anything this month. I think everyone's bouncing around trying to figure which direction to go first. But today we're going to have a new moon tonight, and so think of it as a money-making moon because this is when you can manifest your ideas of prosperity and the ideas of things that you would like to have happen and start something new. Write your wishes. You've got 2 days to put them all together and put out to the universe the things that you want. So the new moon tonight, 22nd, takes off for 48 hours to write out your wishes. Don't be chintzy with yourself. Go for the good stuff. Why not?
Why not?
And I think that's a good place to start. And I also did take a look at the fact that this is a Taurus, and we're dealing with very strong-willed people that were born in the sign, and we've got a lot going on. And everybody is so tense right now. There's no way. So we use our pets for comfort. But we have to remember that when we get a pet, naming that pet is very important because the letters hold a vibration. And so if you find that your pet isn't reacting as kindly as you thought it would or as nicely as you expected it to with the name you've given it, change its name and see what happens. Because the first vowel and first consonant of a name says a lot about what the animal or even people, everybody, what we're all about. So if you find that that's not working so well, try it and see what happens just by changing the name, or even changing how you spell the name might make a difference. But for those that want to check it out, I don't mind. Send me a name and ask me what I think. I'll be happy to answer you.
Oh, that's so nice. And you can find Patricia Kirkman at patriciakirkman.com. You can also find her on supernaturalgirlz.com. And the emails are linked there. You can just click right on it and get right to PK and ask her your questions. She's giving you a generous gift to take a look at any potential names for your children, for your pets. And wonderful insight from PK, just wonderful. And now you're getting it for free. Another gift from Supernatural Girlz Radio. So that's nice, PK. Thank you for that offer for everybody.
Well, you're welcome. We all need something special to feel good about.
We do, and we need direction, and you're perfect for that. You love to give direction, and your direction is great. So, perfect package. Yes.
Well, that's wonderful, and I can't wait for our show tonight because we've got such a wonderful guest coming up.
You know, both men are so insightful.
Yep,
yeah, we've got a man of science coming on, and we've got a shamanic expert coming on, and the two shall meet. It's going to be very interesting to hear both of them talk about their perspective on scalar energy. So it's going to be a great show for everybody, as always. And I did want to mention a very interesting paranormal news segment, the strange story of a dog on board a UFO. Now, this is the first time I've ever heard of this. Have you ever heard of this before?
No. I'm sitting here, my mouth wide open. Was it taken on purpose, or was it a stowaway?
I don't know, because there's not a lot of detail, but the story was written by Nick, our friend, Nick Redfern, and he talked about this man, Alan Godfrey, a Yorkshire, England policeman, and he was on patrol, and apparently he got picked up, and on board he saw this big dog, like a German Shepherd-sized dog, on board the ship.
Wow.
Yes, and he also had one other experience with I don't know what it was, a ghost dog or something else. So apparently he has some affinity for dogs and paranormal experiences. But if you want to read an interesting story about it, go read what Nick has to say on our Facebook page. It's fascinating. And we're going to be bringing Nick back soon. And in the meantime, he's been making the rounds on Ancient Aliens and all those other great shows. But he wrote a very interesting story about this. First time ever that I've heard about a dog on a UFO. I didn't think they liked dogs much, the extraterrestrials.
I didn't think they... Didn't they have a monkey one time?
You know, maybe, but I'm not sure.
I remember
it's just humans, and then they mutilate those poor cattle and sometimes horses, too.
Yeah. It's been so many years since they started this, which feels like it's yesterday, but when you stop to think back what was first, it's hard to remember.
I know, really. And let's see, what else was I going to announce? Oh, yeah, we have, again, PK for numerology. You can come to me for soul realignment or any type of spiritual life coaching or anything like that. Been a counselor for so many years, as well as a dream therapist. So if you want some help and you're sitting at home with nothing to do, just email me. Be happy to work something out so that you can get some support through all of this. And please do.
You're very excellent at it, so you really need to take advantage of it.
Thank you. Well, like you, I'm passionate about my work. I love doing it. So it's always fun to meet new people and to do this kind of work and see people really flourish as a result of it. And I know you see the same thing with the numerology, too. When people follow your number advice, it's always right on. So that's great for everybody. And in the meantime, if you haven't followed us on Facebook and Twitter, please do that. We really, really appreciate it. And tell your friends to do the same thing so that we can pass the word that we're doing great show work here. Next week, we're bringing back one of our top guests, Captain Randy Kramer. We'll be back here next week, and he's going to give us the latest on all kinds of things, including missing 411 people. What is really happening to them? Randy is going to tell us a couple things about this that I have never heard before on any radio show anywhere. Breaking news right here on Supernatural Girlz. So let's bring our first guest on now. Tom Paladino is a scalar expert, and he is going to share all of his knowledge of Tesla and Scalar and how remote applications of Scalar may very well become an accepted health practice in our future. So what we're going to do is start here with Tom, getting all the information we can about Tesla and the scalar energy, also known as radiant energy. Let's bring him on, and let's hear what he has to say. Tom, welcome to the show.
Hi, ladies. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's nice to have you with us tonight.
Thanks, BK. Likewise.
So tell us what you know, because this is such a mysterious subject, and we hear these terms batted around, and certainly Tesla is well known. What is this all about?
Sure. I think what I have to say is going to segue to your next guest. And let me start by this. Energy, light. We work with scalar light, and that term is synonymous with chi or prana or zero-point energy. It's not electricity. So when I speak of this life force energy, scalar energy, many cultures have embraced this, and many people realize that this energy is a healing energy. I think it's the same energy that healers will have in their hands. So when we speak of scalar energy, I work with scalar energy, we're really speaking of that quantum energy, the life force energy. And again, it's been embraced by so many cultures. If you're in Asia, you call it prana or chi. If you're in the United States, you call it zero-point energy. Perhaps if you're Russian, you call it torsion energy. But it's all the same. It's that healing energy that we're working with.
And it's powerful, obviously. I mean, anything Tesla was involved with way back when, it was incredibly powerful and effective. But then what happened with his patents and his discoveries?
You know, Tesla, I believe, was the first person who harnessed and had actually instruments that controlled this scalar energy, or what he called radiant energy. And it was such a game changer, ladies, that the present powers that be did not want it. In other words, this technology would have replaced the existing military-industrial complex. It's an advanced technology, and it frankly would have made obsolete so much of the technology over 100 years ago, including today. So I believe Tesla laid the groundwork, and I think it's up to us now to follow in his footsteps and to bring this technology to the awareness of the general public. That's been my career, trying to follow up with what Tesla started.
Now, you have some very advanced equipment that you use. Tell us a little bit about how it works.
Sure. I've discovered a way to capture this energy. Scalar energy is sunlight or starlight, and it's not electricity. So I don't necessarily tie into the electrical grid to work these instruments. I've devised a technique in which I can extract this energy, if you will, from the universe. So this energy is all around us. It's, again, sunlight or starlight. And how do you access it? Well, that's the key, to access that energy. And again, it's not an electrical current. It's not as if you're going to plug it in to a wall socket. And I have been successful using this energy in application to improve human health. So that is my present research. I think there's so many other things you can do with scalar energy. There's thousands of applications, but in specific, I try and improve human health.
Right. And so you have done some experiments with this, and you have found that it actually creates an effect. So can you talk about that?
Sure. Working with these instruments, I have seen how we can balance the chakras. Everybody has 7 chakras or 7 meridians. And when you work with this energy, I believe it's a direct download or a direct interface with our 7 chakras or even our brain waves. And it's only really possible with this type of force field, this chi or prana or this scalar energy force field. In other words, if you sat in front of a computer or you sat in front of an electrical device, you're not going to have your chakras balanced. To the contrary, a scalar energy instrument will balance your 7 meridians or will balance your brain waves. And that really speaks to the point that we are composed of scalar waves, so that if we have a favorable instrument that would download this energy into us, this scalar energy, we can indeed interface with this life force energy. And from what I have seen with this chakra balancing, it improves the mental attitude, the psychology of so many people. So I've always said that scalar light will be the doorway to mental health in the future.
It would be nice to have something that's so non-invasive.
Yeah.
And we've all heard this too, that light and sound are the things that will come into our future and heal us. And we know that's very much against the current regulations in our healthcare system. But our healthcare system is kind of failing. Except for emergency medicine, which we do pretty well here in this country, and some other countries as well have that very well done. But chronic illness is always an issue, and certainly we're facing a new threat here, and we're doing the best we can to get ahead of it. But something like Scalar in the future that is, maybe hopefully tested and accepted, but it's way outside the norm. And look how long it's been, at least acknowledged by Tesla himself, and then disregarded. And then I know the government came in, and after Tesla died, they confiscated all of his papers.
That's correct.
Isn't that a shame?
Still buried today, right?
That's right.
That's
and imagine
so sad.
What a threat he must have been. The day that Tesla died, his laboratory was raided by the government, and they took all of his papers, all of his instruments, and we've never seen them. Why? Why would you do that? How many scientists have their home raided the day that they die? Well, apparently they were intimidated by what he knew.
Where did they put his stuff? Do you know where they took it?
I do not know. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it wound up in Area 51. I don't know.
Probably
we've never seen it. We've never seen those inventions. We've never seen his paperwork. So that's rather
probably
peculiar,
right next
isn't
to
it?
The loss.
Yeah.
If they destroyed it, I hope they didn't.
Well, it's probably right next to that Lost Ark, in Indiana Jones, and they go down the hallways and just sitting there collecting dust. It's so unfortunate that we have, the minds aren't open to this. And again, we need things like this to deal with some of the threats that we are facing. So it makes sense, it makes a lot of sense. And here you are at the forefront of this, experimenting with the energies and getting very, very positive results. And you've been at this how long now, Tom? A long time.
It's been a lifetime. It's been 40 years that I've been at this. Why would such a Herculean effort be required? Because everything is groundbreaking. You have to learn from ground zero. There is no definitive college course on scalar energy. You have to learn this on your own. And it's painstaking, and it takes a great deal of time and effort. So I'm happy to say that my career has been well spent, but others are going to have to take this upon themselves. I obviously cannot do this much longer, and this has to really catch on in the world if it's going to make any progress.
Well, we're hoping for that. But the energy itself, and this is why we came up with this concept of this show tonight, it is ancient. It is all around us. It's source energy that's in a waveform, as you described it. Is it a longitudinal wave? What kind of waves are we talking about here?
It is longitudinal. It's not a sinusoidal wave that you see so often in transverse wave that you see in electricity. It's a longitudinal wave, and by that we mean it really can be non-local. This energy is everywhere, so it's not point A to point B. To the contrary, this is an energy that fills an environment. Well, what type of environment? If it's sunlight and starlight, it fills the universe, and that's why this is so important. This is an energy that you can tap into. It's starlight. That's an infinite supply of energy. It's clean energy. There's no radiation or there's no carbon footprint. And that's the future that I envision. Relatively inexpensive energy, clean energy, no carbon footprint, no deleterious side effects, and it will level the playing field. This is not for the elite. This is meant for everybody. So this really should spur on humanity. This type of technology should make everybody's lifestyle enhanced. That's what I'm looking for, to improve everybody's lifestyle.
Well, we're all for that.
For us.
We would
but it
really
gives
like
to everybody
that.
else.
And I know you've tried this on yourself and your friends for pain, for different types of illnesses, and you've had very positive observational data with all of it.
That's right. We have testimonies from people around the world, and frankly, the evidence is incontrovertible. After working with tens of thousands of people and having favorable results and even diagnostic tests that prove our work, I will declare that this someday is going to be an accepted healing modality, that people will use this to improve their health. It's energy medicine, and that's the new wave that we see in alternative medicine, energy healing. And again, the ancients knew it. People have healing energy in their hands. Some healers can lay hands upon you and heal you. Well, I do it with an instrument. And they're both valid attempts. They're both valid modalities. It's just a matter I use an instrument.
Right. Well, and I always thought, too, and I'm sure you can, well, I'll let you comment on it, but I always felt that in order to have a complete healing, you've got to pull energy from everywhere, not just this dimension. And it appears that Scalar has that ability to pull energy from every dimension. It's not just energy for right here, right now. I mean, it's so transcendent. And that's where you get the real healing.
Yes, and that's the proper word. Scalar energy transcends time and space, so it's an infinite energy. And with that, we really have an infinite possibilities with this energy. It's not a local energy. It's non-local. What are we tapping into? We're really tapping into the logos of the universe, what some people call the Christ consciousness of the universe. And I agree, this is a divine energy that transcends time and space. Yes,
I think you're absolutely right. And, you know, as we begin to talk about the shamanic aspects of this, I mean, I don't know if anybody's a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but at one point in the series, she has to meet the original. And it's a very powerful show where she meets the original Vampire Slayer. And it's there's something about that that's very important. And I know when I've done shamanic work, too, I met just recently in my lineage the original. It's very powerful because those originals, they saw basically in energy. They saw the energy. And I'm not even getting the words right here, but there is a power with those original people that could also transcend time and space, that could see into the world and harness the energy that you and Tesla call scalar.
Yes.
So that's just my opinion. I may be wrong. No. We're going to hear from Itzhak shortly, but I just see this as a very ancient and very intense energy. In the right hands, it can do wonders. Well, I can imagine it can be dangerous, too, if in the wrong hands, right?
Yeah. No, you're quite insightful. I agree with that, and thank you both for your insight. You're right. This is the game changer we've been looking for. Imagine what I'm saying. Scalar energy is an infinite supply of energy. It's star energy. So there's never going to be another war for oil. You won't have to worry about a shortage of energy or power. You don't have to worry about carbon dioxide in the atmosphere because scalar energy does not produce any emission. There is no pollution. And it's a healing energy on top of that. So gone, passé is our existing model. You know, you're not going to have oil wells in the future. You're not going to have the disease that we have presently. Scalar energy is going to change our lifestyle. It's a technology that's just waiting. It's frankly, it's on the launch pad right now. And as long as a few people get on this rocket ship, it's going to blast off and it's going to change the world. And I thank you both for, again, giving me this platform just to announce this, just to bring consciousness, to bring awareness to the people in the world.
Well, and we also want to give you a chance to talk about your free offers because you've been very generous for that and giving our audience a chance to experience this at no charge and with no credit card on file. You don't need to do that.
Right.
And it's just totally free. So tell everybody about that.
Okay, so our website is scalarlight.com. If you visit that website, at the very top, there's a trial, 15 days free trial. All you have to do is submit your photograph to us, and we will provide healing energy for 15 days, no questions asked. And we do that simply because this is the easiest way to introduce this novel therapy to people around the world. So again, avail yourself of that. It's scalarlight.com, SCALAR, scalarlight.com. Anybody in your family can sign up. We'll accept 6, 7, 8 photographs of family members. No questions asked. And you'll see how you feel after 15 days of having a chakra balance. You will see the benefits to this energy, and you will probably have a more tranquil, calmer spirit after that 2-week session.
What a wonderful gift for everyone, because at this point in time, I don't know of a soul that doesn't need something like this.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's free. And then if anybody has some amazing experience they want to share, then there's a way they can get in touch with you on the website and share that with you. Or if they have questions, they can contact you also.
That's right. That's right. We're open 7 days a week. So if you have a question, you can email us a question, and we'll answer that question. The whole point is to make this readily available to mankind, and that's why we give away the free trials. Try it. You'll see how your demeanor changes. You will see that this will uplift your spirits.
That sounds fabulous. Does a person have to send the photo in themselves, or could, say, a parent send one in for one of their children? Would it still have the same effect?
Yes, it would. All we need is a photograph of some part of your skin. And when you do send in a photograph, we prefer that you send a photograph of your face so that we can identify you. In so doing, parents usually send in photographs of their children. Obviously, they are guardians of their children, so we welcome that and we encourage that. But the key is since it's free, tell all of your friends, visit the website. If 100 of your friends sign up, well, great, super. That's the whole point here. This is the easiest way to introduce it to mankind. That's why we have free sessions.
Oh, that's fabulous. I think what a great gift to give everyone right now.
Yeah. Yes. Gosh, we all need it. We've been through the ringer.
It's been a tough 2 months, hasn't it?
Well, that's for sure.
And a very uncertain 2 months, not knowing when things are going to open up, not knowing if you've been exposed. It's all very wow. It's very challenging. Let's put it that way, huh? Very challenging. But you're offering a wonderful, wonderful experience, Tom, and I know you've been generous with PK and I. We've both tried it. We love it. And if people are open to it, you're certainly giving a wonderful experience here for them to try. And if they like it, they can choose to continue it. You have all kinds of programs that you offer with Scalar. So it would be great for people to just give it all a try. Wonderful things going on there.
Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciated our time this evening. Thanks.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And you're welcome to stay on with us as we talk with Itzhak. And if you have any questions, then just let me know, and we'll get you. I'm going to keep you on live mic if you'd like, and then we'll have to continue this conversation.
Why don't you just mute me so I can listen? But I would like to listen. Sure.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, Tom, thank you very much again. And just announce your website one more time, if you would.
It is scalarlight.com, SCALAR, scalarlight.com. Sign up for that free session.
Terrific. Okay, I'm going to put you on mute. Thanks again. Okay, PK, now we're moving to the second part of our show. And we have
what a night, huh?
I know, it's so exciting. We have our favorite shaman here with us, Itzhak Beery. We're going to bring him live here. We're going to light up his mic. The wheel is spinning.
And then he could light up our world, right?
That's right. Hi, Itzhak. How are you tonight?
Hi, hello.
Hello.
I'm good. I'm happy, Kay. I'm so happy to be with you again.
We're thrilled to have you
tonight.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're very happy to have you here, Itzhak. Thank you so much for joining us. And we were just talking with Tom Paladino about scalar energy and how it is the same, probably, we're thinking, the same energy that shamans tap into and can use powerfully to heal between the worlds and in the different worlds. So how do you see the energy that shamans tap into?
Well, Tesla was one of the first shamans, the Western shamans, and he understood the energy, right? That come from him. That word Scalar. Well, it's not a secret that shamans from beginning of time know that the whole world, everything that we see, everything that we experience, is made of energy. There's nothing that is not not energy. It's and energy. We're talking about that the objects that we see and ourselves also. We are all made of molecular atoms, subatomic, that are moving in different frequencies and vibrations, and they create what we see. And in many ways, the object that we see in this world is actually, if you look at it in the deepest meaning, is all emptiness. So these are the spaces between the subatomic. And what shamans do is that they interact with their brain and intuition.
Runs there anyway, I think.
Sorry?
PK, are you talking to us?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you had said on that.
Okay.
My phone misplayed for a moment there, and I wanted to hear what you were saying.
Oh. So I'm trying to reply to the idea of that the whole world is made of energy particles. That shamans from beginning of time, they understand that there is no separations between the seen and the unseen world, or the physical and the non-physical world. That everything is made of small little atomic particles that are moving in different vibration at different speeds, and creating what we call objects. And you and I and everything is all humans are made basically of water molecules, and this is just H2O, and everything that exists is small atoms banging each other, creating tension between them. And that tension is electricity, and that electricity in the shamanic way of looking at things are consciousness. And what shamans do is they are interacting with the electricity of their intentional concentration and changing and manipulating energy. And that's how we do healing, and that's how we find ways to see into the future, past and present, and that's how we interact with what we call in the shamanic state of consciousness, which is a different vibrational brain. We are interacting with the world and able to direct the energy in our mind or in our brain. You can call it telepathy, you can call it laser-like energy, to influence the outcome of people's health and not just the health, but events that happen. And that's the power of prayers in many ways, because when you are praying, you are directing your concentration and intention. You are focusing the energy that's running in our brain. Our thoughts are also electricity. So that's how we change the world.
So shamans are able to see energy. They're also able to manipulate energy, channel it differently, and then also walk between the worlds. And as you said, there's no separation for shamans. So between one world and another, but shamans know when they pass through to a different world. They do have that super awareness, right?
Yeah, so shamans sneak in between the worlds. So naturally, we have 4 gates for consciousness, and we are naturally in awe when we see a sunrise and sunset. We are naturally in awe when we are during midnight and midday. those are the gates of consciousness. When the darkness or the night giving room for the day, there is a moment where we say, that's awesome feeling that something is happening. And that's where these are the gates of consciousness, or the gates of in between the world. And then that shamans use that ability to sneak into or enter into the world beyond and through those gates of consciousness. And it is a different vibrations of the mind, of our brain. And in many ways, it's kind of similarly to daydreaming. And I'm sure that most of the people who are listening have daydreaming once or more in their life. I know that I do. And then in daydreaming, you are moving between the present and into an unknown world, and you start to receive messages. A lot of people who have that, they're just, dismissing it, that they poo-pooing that experience. But if you pay attention to your daydreaming, it's very similar to the same frequencies that shamans use to see the world. And you said something about seeing, manipulating energy with your concentration, but how do we see? So this is exactly what I teach, and what shamans teach is how to see the world. And I do believe that we all have that ability to see the world, in the unseen world. And one very popular way is dreaming. When you dream, your soul, spirit is entering into a different world, and it's not very uncommon to hear people that have prophetic dreams, that they see events that will happen, or reconnect with ancestors or other events that happened in the past. They see maybe past life. That ability of visioning is built in with each of us. But when you do it intentionally, you may want to understand that all these messages and all these visions come from spirit as a communication with us. And that's so important to really understand that nothing that our brain is producing is come from nothing. It's come from spirit and the way that we communicate with us. And the way I see it is that all energies is a matter. It's actually an object. Some of which we can't really see, right? Because our vision is very limited compared to any other animals. We are pretty primitive creatures, humans. But that doesn't mean that we can't feel energy, right? Sometimes we feel other people's energy, or we can sometimes see it. It happened to me that I'm able to see, not all the time, but some of the time I can see holograms or spirits around people. It could be people that already passed, or it could be people that still exist and they left energy imprints around that person that comes for healing. Or I can also sometimes see the thoughts or the images that comes in the thought of that person, because thoughts are actually a material or matter, so you can actually see them. So I don't look at
Can I give an example of that? Can I give everybody an example where we saw you do that, Itzhak? Because you came here to Middlefield, and we had a wonderful workshop with you. It was amazing. It was so powerful. We had it up at Blossom Center, where they have a beautiful pyramid made of glass, and we all sat inside. And you were talking to Marin, and you saw her thought form about the red tractor, remember?
Yes.
It was great. I mean, all of a sudden, you asked her about the red tractor, and it had relevance. I mean, she knew exactly what you were talking about because she was thinking about her husband, Adair, being on the red tractor, and you saw that thought. You saw it, and I was just so intrigued. That was great.
But I also saw the tractor after that. Yeah.
But it was a wonderful workshop. You gave us such a great and wide experience in a short period of time, between the drumming and the learning how to read candles, and we did the eggs, Olympias. That it was all extraordinary. I can't recommend your workshops highly enough. That was great, and we just all had such a wonderful transcendence, and it just worked so well. So when we can all get back to social integration, I'm sure you'll be offering them again, and I highly recommend these types of workshops. But you're also doing something online now, right? I saw something online you're offering to people.
Yeah, I'm actually doing. I'm trying to. We don't have any other way, so we do everything now in Zoom, and I'm trying to teach the candle reading and the diagnostic reading online, and I just had the first one experience like that with the New York Open Center and the course that I'm doing there, and people were very excited about that. They got quite a lot of it, even though they didn't feel the wax burning on their fingers. But they had a wonderful experience. So I'm going to continue to do that because I truly believe that even in a short time, when you give people permission to dream or to visualize, they see. And you remember in this workshop, when we pair people to work together, they've seen a lot for each other, and they validate a lot of the traumas or issues that happen in their life. And that's the benefit of this beautiful tool that shamans use.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, we had a lot of people in the group that had some experience before with this and knew they were intuitive, but you took us to a whole other level. And when you mentioned dreams, I'm also, because being a dream therapist, very intrigued with what you have to say about that. But what I saw when you were just talking, it's kind of like this is your chance, everybody, to become your own shaman, because when you pay attention to your dreams, you are actually going in between the worlds, from one world to another, just like a shaman does. So there's your opportunity to experience that.
Well, my teacher, my Brazilian teacher from the Amazon, Ipupiara, used to repeatedly say that we are all shamans. And, in the beginning I poo-poo it and says, like there are some people who are more talented than others. But, and he used to say that we are born with all of those abilities. It's part of our DNA. And there's nothing special about it, actually, if you come to think of it, because we all dream. We all know how to sing. We all know how to love. We all know how to hug or speak nicely and lovingly to another person to make that person feel comfortable and healing. We know how to become a shaman because this is part of our own survival. In our modern life, we hardly use that qualities. We have the biggest shutdown of the senses in the 20th and the 21st century, because we don't really need to use our senses anymore. I mean, it's all on the screens, right? So we became lazy, and basically the work that I do or other teachers do or shamans do is to reawaken to remind people that they have that gift given to them from birth, and it's okay for them to use it to make other people's dreams come true and to make them other people healthy. And that's my message too, is to help people recognize that their dream matters, that the daydream matters, that the voices that they hear are important, that they can hug and they can kiss and they can make other people feel loved, and which is a great healing, and sing and be part of nature. I think that's the core of this work.
Yes, I mean we all have to accept on some level that we are connected and part of this wheel of life, and stop trying to dominate nature and control things that have to do with that, among other things. But we're going to take a very short commercial break here, and we're going to come back. If anybody has questions, feel free to call in, and the number to call in is 563-999-3539. Again, that's 563-999-3539. You are listening to Supernatural Girlz Radio, and we'll be right back.
Pure essential oils, specialized minerals, and a revolutionary anti-aging technology. Astridian combines the best of all scientifically proven ingredients in easy-to-use creams, lotions, and concentrated serums. Astridian's advanced line of products take your skin to a new level of being healthy and beautiful. We offer a variety of collections that address all your skin concerns. The Essential Anti-Aging Series treats and moisturizes your skin for a long-lasting, younger look. The Multivitamin Series promotes healthy skin with high-quality vitamins and minerals. The Sports Series restores skin from cellular damage and stress. Astridian also offers a revitalizing solution for hair and a professional series for doctors and medical spas. Visit astridian.love today and begin your new journey to healthy, beautiful, youthful skin. Astridian, beyond your expectations.
There are a lot of psychics out there. How do you decide which one is right for you? You look for someone who empowers you, who's practical and spiritually connected, who says, here are your opportunities, here are your challenges, and here's a way to deal with them, and then gives you your own toolbox to make your life everything you want it to be. Hi, I'm Corby Mitleid, and that's how I work with you. As a certified professional tarot reader, I've helped thousands of people for over 40 years through my toolbox. Cards, past life retrieval, numerology, spirit guide conferences, and mediumship. Whether it's career, relationships, finances, or your spiritual road, together we can replace your confusion with clarity. And you'll probably find a little laughter along the way. Visit me at CorbyMitleid.com to find out how to cross your bridge from fear to fearlessness and fly. And tell me you found me at Supernatural Girlz for a special gift with your reading. Corby Mitleid, the practical psychic for catching your tomorrows today. Find me at CorbyMitleid.com. That's CorbyMitleid.com.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Are you frustrated with endless mantras, affirmations, and processes that promise to align your life with your dreams, only to find yourself years later in the same space where you began? Do you feel like you must be doing something wrong because nothing seems to be working? Don't you just wish that someone could shift your consciousness for you and your life could align with your desires without all the effort? Well, your wish is about to come true. Hi, I'm Carrie Cannon, and I have a gift that allows me to align the consciousness of others to be in harmony with their dreams. The best part is, it requires no particular effort on your part. Upon listening to a consciousness alignment, people have reported instant energy shifts, financial windfalls, soulmate connections, healed relationships, physical healings, and more. To gain access to a free trial offer for my entire Manifesting Miracles library of consciousness alignments, go to commandmiracles.com now for details. Again, that's commandmiracles.com for information about our free trial offer. That's commandmiracles.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girlz Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and we are now in the second part of our show, speaking with our favorite shaman in the whole world, Itzhak Beery. And Itzhak, it's so great to have you here with us.
I love that laughter that he has. It just makes you feel good.
It does. It does. He's just a master with so many things. So you were going to also, Itzhak, share with us a little bit about how shamans see this whole pandemic crisis that we're in and we've been facing since February. What's the perspective that shamans have on this?
Well, I don't know if there is a unified way of that every shaman in the world is talking about. Some people think that the world, that Pachamama or Mother Earth is shaking her mosquitoes, or that's non-essential being from the skin. It's like any animal does when they bother her. So and they think that we deserve to have that because we do not treat the earth right. And you can see that in the couple of months that we stop abusing the earth is coming alive. The rivers are clean, the air is clean, and so on and so forth. And the animals started to roam the streets, which is like an amazing thing.
Yes, it is.
But I think that it's the other question. The other point of view is that when we abuse the earth and when we taking so much from the earth but don't give back, we kind of ruining the immune system that the earth has. And with the immune system that the earth has, which is like the atmosphere, the air, the water, everything that is giving life, we are hurting our own immune system. So the people who, there are some people who do die of the disease, and people who are, they are not. So it's a question of strong immune system. And when we are eating the wrong things and using the wrong things and polluting the air, polluting our resources, we are weakening our immune system. And I think that this is a call for people who don't understand the connection, the intimate connections that we have between the earth or the mother and our life to wake up. And that is what the shamans really say, that we are all connected, we are all the same. If you sneeze in China, that virus spread all around the world. And I don't blame China, but what I think that we need to see is that this deepest connection that we have between each of us. And, shamans know that we are all connected. We are all vibrating in different vibrations, and those vibrations, like when you throw water in the pebble in stone in the water, the pebble in the water, the waves moving to all directions, and they hit everyone. So it is a call for all of us to understand that connection, to understand that we do have to have a social responsibility for each other, that viruses or the earth is touching each of us in the same way. You can be rich, you can be protected, but and you don't have to care about the homeless people in India, but it is our responsibility to make sure that everyone on this earth is healthy, because it is touching our own health. I think that it's a huge lesson that we need to bring back what we call shamanic values, which is responsibility for our own community. And what can we do to make everyone healthy and thriving, and not just a few? Because those few's life, no matter how much money they have, they cannot separate themselves from humanity. They really have to be part of it and contribute to it.
You're right, yes.
There is a huge implication for what we are experiencing now. We can go back and say that I do not belong to those people who are starving on the street, because those people on the street are starving, or they don't have health insurance, or they don't have a safety net. They go to our hospitals, and you end up paying for it anyway. So maybe the balance will change from spending so many trillions of dollars on defense and killing machines, and helping the populations to be healthy, so diseases like this would not spread, that we can find ways. And I think there is a huge responsibility, like when we talk about government, we're talking about the elders. And I hope that people today will think about a government not in a negative term. It's an entity that wants to take something from you, but it is an entity that came to help you. It's sponsored and it's paid by the poor people just as well as the rich people. And in order for all of us to live in harmony with nature and animals and spirits, we have to bring those shamanic values back to our communities. And that means loving each other equally. These are the biblical values. They're not something new. It's not only shamanic values. It's a natural qualities of every human to make sure that his family. But in this time, we have to understand that our family is the whole human race. It's not just us and the closest. The closest need. It's all of us, and because all of us are influencing our own well-being.
Right. Well, and you've written a number of terrific books. I want to make sure that we mention them. They're all available on Amazon.com, and they're all about our favorite topic here, shamanism. So be sure to check out Itzhak's books. And Itzhak, can you name them for our audience, please?
So the first book is The Gift of Shamanism, and the way I see The Gift of Shamanism, which is actually kind of close to the subject that we were talking about, is the gift of visioning. And I try to explain how shamans vision and what they do with that, how they use it to make other people's life better. and dreams come true. And that's including working with plant medicine like ayahuasca and yahe. It also includes shamanic journeys or getting into trance, and how you can use that to journey for somebody else's body and diagnose illnesses and find solutions for that. So that and I tell a lot of stories like this red tractor, and some even more strange stories. The second book was a book about. I was very curious about what happened to people when they get to the eureka moment, the moment of realization that life is a little different than what they experienced or thought. And so this is Shamanic Transformation. It's a book about the moment of transformation that happened to people, like famous shamans in our world. And I asked him to write something that is very personal, like intimate stories of that moment of awakening. Uh-huh. And it's a beautiful book. It's and I think that when you read it, you will recognize some of that moment in yourself. And I'm sure the two Patricias you have, but I'm sure moments like that.
We do have those aha moments, don't we, PK?
Definitely do.
Of course, and it's so. I mean, my curiosity side is I was always like, I wanted to know what happened to, famous shamans. I don't want to, there's like 30-something stories like that, 30 or more, I think. But, one of the things that is so beautiful about that book is that, for me personally, is that I was always looking for that one moment. And one of the shamans who is indigenous wrote me an email, and he said, "I'm really, really sorry. We don't have one moment, because for us, every moment is a moment of awakening. Every moment is a sacred moment. So for us, we don't. When we wake up in the morning, we are in that moment of awakening, because we realize how beautiful this world is, and so we don't need to chase that moment of enlightenment, because every moment is a moment of enlightenment. And I think that this is one of the things that for this Earth Day we may want to think about, is that we have a very short time to be here on this Earth in this kind of in this body. I'm not saying that we're not going to come back. We are coming back. But for this particular time, some of us have very short time, and even 100 years is very short time. And so every moment, we have to really look at it as a moment of opportunity, as a miracle, as a moment of an awe that, wow, we are able to smell these flowers and the air. We can hug someone that we love. We can sing a song. I mean, I think that's a beautiful way of holding the idea of Earth Day, is to really give thanks and gratitude to the fact that we are alive on this majestic, beautiful, unbelievable blue planet,
Well, you so also just gave us an exercise to practice, which I like, and I think I'm going to try this one. Mm-hmm. This whole practice of looking at every moment as a moment of awakening. So from the moment you wake up in the morning, it's a moment of awakening. I like that a lot, and I think that's something we could all try. Our audience and I would be very interested, I'm sure, don't you think, PK, to try that?
I think it's an excellent idea. Someone told me a long time ago, time is the only thing we can't afford to lose. And we do not take advantage of this, the moment we awake, the awakening and the start. If we start looking at it that way instead of what's just been, it's where we're going that's more important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ipopiara used to say, I don't understand you white people. Why do you always say have a good day? And I looked at him and I said, what do you mean? I wish you to have a good day. And he says, day is good. He said, I mean, you may not like it. You may think that it's too rainy or too sunny or too cold or too hot or too this or too that, but my God, every day is a good day.
Yeah. So, very true. Very a shame that we don't look at it that way all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different practices like this that can help us stay in the moment and gather power. Because, from what I've heard from you and other teachers, we lose power when we keep focusing on a different moment that we're not in. So having this ability to say, I am awakening in this moment, it just allows us to gather more power. And wasn't that a lot of the teaching of Don Juan and Carlos Castaneda's book, to gather power? Because we give it away. We throw it away. And this path that you're talking about with us tonight, Itzhak, is a path of power.
Yes, of course. See, when you are connecting to the eternal or to the cosmos, you become one with it, and there's no fear. You become part of nature. So, and that's really the teaching here, is to wake up with gratitude of the moment, with the understanding that it's all miracles. And I'm not saying that I don't wake up sometimes like really grouchy and could be depressed.
Not you.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, I have also human sides of me too.
Right.
I'm not always that cheerful, but I also, and we all have different parts that plays, in a certain time, and sometimes it's very hard for us to bring it back. But it's such a luxury to complain about the weather or about something that happened to us. I mean, the biggest picture is that we are alive, that we are able to breathe and smell the roses and wash the dishes. I mean, the small things. That's the teaching here is to live in the gratitude of that moment, because it's not so obvious that we can do it the next moment. And you know that.
Yes.
You know that. Anyway, the third book is... sorry?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and talk about your third book, then I have another question.
The third book is it's called Shamanic Healing, modern ancient medicine for modern world. And it's really the call that I think that is so important, to bring shamanic work to work together in concert with Western medicine. And I truly believe that the shamanic, the Western medicine is fantastic in what it does as a technical way of treating people or treating symptoms of diseases, but they are not really it's not its role to find the root causes of the diseases, and working together where the shamans can find the emotional, spiritual, and physical issues of disease can help modern medicine do a better job. Mm-hmm. And I believe that when we marry the two together, we can help the patient recover faster, and also take care of their families that are with them, in understanding of the soul journey, the soul purpose, the life lessons that people learn. So I have this is a book about that, but it's also I give different healing techniques that people can use at home. It's almost like a how-to with stories that shows how I use that in my practice. So the shamanic tradition is really about storytelling. It's teaching through the stories, and then it's also very practical. It's not necessarily spiritual. It's not about enlightenment. It's about making our world a better place. So through these stories and through these exercises, I hope that people understand the value of the shamanic healing.
Yeah, they're, again, wonderful books, and they're all available on Amazon.com and in bookstores also. Now, you also participated in a book on shamanism in Siberia, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm particularly interested in that because that's my heritage. Some of my people come from Russia, and I would imagine it was tough to get information on that level of shamanism.
I never went to Siberia yet. I'm planning to. I'd love to go. But I work with a few of those Mongolian and Siberian shamans.
What
that
are
came
they
to
like?
The United States.
They seem pretty formidable.
Yes. Each of us connect to different shamans from the place of his soul, right? So you are connected to that because of you have a call, or your DNA calls you to meet them and to reconnect with this heritage that you have. We all have that call for any particular, and that sometimes also could be a past life call, that we carry with us. But I found out that shamans are powerful wherever they go. Or genuine shamans are very powerful and authentic. But that story kind of reminded me that when we went to the Shuar, these are the tribes in the Amazon, they used to say that the shamans of the Andes are so powerful. They are the most genuine. You have to be very fearful of them because they're so powerful. And so that's how they see it. And then we went to the Andes, and in the Andes they said, the Shuar people, the Shuar shamans are the strongest, powerful shamans. So each one is like idolizing the other shamans more than they think about themselves. All shamans are powerful if they come from their own.
Certainly, but there's also different teachings, right? And obviously, a lot of it is passed on, verbally. It's just told to the next generation, and they're taught in that manner. Nothing's really written down. But what are the differences that you see in Siberian shamans, the Mongolians, or shamans from South America? Because you've been able to work with both. So, what do you see as a difference?
Their practices are different because they have different topography, they have different different usage of their elements around them. But I think that there are a lot of things that are very common, like for instance, that belief that everything is energy in the world and you can manipulate it with your mind, with your prayers, with your intention. That is common. They all have incredible reverence to the mountains, for the trees, for the lakes, for the springs, for the rivers, for every stone. It's incredible reverence, and they also they incredible aware that their role is not just to talk to spirit, but it's to protect their community. So family and community are so important for them, the well-being of their community. So there's a lot of things that are very common, and I don't know how to put it in words, but there is something very, you can call it primitive, but it's not really primitive. It's very sophisticated. The way they hold their role so seriously, but also with a lot of fun and humor. But they understand that the weight of the world is on their shoulders, and they know that they can help people to live a better life. So I think that indigenous people, indigenous shamans from places that are remote, they still have that energy that you can feel, that they are connected to the cosmos. They can move clouds and change the weather and create miracles and see spirits. They're untainted, yeah.
But it's amazing. I remember meeting a Native American medicine man who was able to do that with the weather, and it was really impressive. What happened? I'll tell you this quick story. It was kind of funny. He had an apprentice, which a lot of medicine men do in this and did in this country, and Kisatanomuk was his apprentice, and Kisatanomuk was supposed to arrange meetings for Slow Turtle and some of the people in the Northeast, and he arranged a meeting, and they went to New York to meet with this person, and as it turned out, Kisatanomuk made a huge mistake and brought him to the wrong address and the wrong county, and so Slow Turtle wasn't pleased, and then he had to go do a reinterment, which is when they find a Native American skeleton and they rebury the skeleton with other Native Americans, giving it a proper burial. A lot of these museums in Connecticut had those skeletons, and so he would go back to Connecticut. They'd do a reinterment. Well, he made Kisatanomuk stay out all night long at the cemetery burning the fire, and it poured. It poured, cats and dogs. And so that was his teaching to Kisatanomuk. But when Slow Turtle arrived to do the ceremony, he got out of the car, and the rain stopped completely. So he walked over, he did the ceremony, and then he walked back to the car, and the rain started all over again. So it was just an amazing, I got to witness it. I saw it happen. And I think that was the last time that Kisatanomuk ever took Slow Turtle to the wrong address. So he really got the lesson.
Sounds like it, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Staying out all night in the rain, keeping a fire going, that'll do it. So.
Well, it happened to me when I was teaching in Sfat, the most Kabbalistic town on this mountain in Israel. It was quite a few years ago. It was a very dry year. There was no rain, and it was already the end of November, I think. It was like a few months of that was so dry. And the woman who organized this workshop, she said, well, why don't you make some rain prayer, because it was so dry here and everything is yellow, and and I said, listen, I don't know. We can try, let's just drum. And so we started to drum and sing and drum and sing, and we drum and drum. And then all of a sudden I felt that my drum started to get wet. I mean, change its tune, right? Because it became more moisture. And in a second, there was huge rain starting to pour down.
Oh, that's great. And
it was an amazing strong rain. So I don't know if it was because of our drumming or because it was just happened, but I know that it happened at a request of the woman who organized that workshop.
That's wonderful. That's so wonderful. Yeah, there's a lot of responsibility given to shamans that have that kind of power, I think, and you do have to. You hope that shamans that have this kind of power are coming from a heart-centered place. So, because this energy, as we talked with Tom about this energy is very powerful. It can be used for any reason. It can be positive. It can be negative.
Yeah, I mean that's the challenge that many shamans are facing. You know, you can be a brujo, or you can be a curandero. You can be a witch doctor, or you can be a healer. You can, but you see, once you start using it for negative purposes, which means negative in the sense that you stop the flow of life for other people, then that energy can come back boomerang at you. It's very hard to break it once you start to do it. So my teacher always used to tell me not ever even try that, you know, even in the worst time, to direct that negative energy towards anybody else. And unfortunately, you know, shamans, like any person, sometimes, you know, is motivated by money and greed, and you know, I personally was involved in a few of those things, and I know that they exist, and it's not a pretty picture. It's not something that you want to get involved at all. So that's where we need consciousness.
Well, I think that there's also the problem of ego, and as I mentioned before on the show, the old medicine men that I knew, there really isn't anyone left like that I know of in the United States today. And again, this ego problem, and also the problem that has basically run through Native American communities, drugs and alcohol, it makes it very difficult. Not to say that there aren't good medicine men and women out there. I know there are that are more contemporary, but it's a different age, and it's what I see is a lot of ego involvement that takes people off the path, and it's not it doesn't encourage good. It doesn't encourage good healing. It doesn't encourage healing, actually, at all when you see something like that in action. So, I know that the teachers you learned from, Itzhak, were very strict in some ways with you. And right?
Absolutely.
They were tough.
Well, they were tough. They, for them, it's not a game. It's not something that is. It's something that was passed from generation to generation to generation. So, and they don't deviate. They're very strict about how you use it, or how do you put your hands, and how do you pray, and how do you do. All of that is protocol, and you really want to honor that. And I know that part of you're talking about ego, and it's true that in our culture now, people who study shamanism, they come from a different culture, of Western culture, that each person wants to express his personality. So, right. they add to this ancient wisdom their take on that, and they don't understand that they don't need to do that. all they have to do is to follow, to give credit for that, because there's everything that they think that they are adding, it's already there. Mm-hmm. And that's why we have Reiki, and that's why we have Shamanic Reiki and Shamanic Yoga and Shamanic this and Shamanic that, all kind of people who want to put their name or their so there was a classic criticism of my teachers on Western mind, and I'm guilty. I used to be guilty of that too, because I was brought up in the Western that everybody had to be innovative, to innovate the old tradition, except that you need to accept it, not to try to reinvent it, because there's no need to reinvent. It's already there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. But it's very hard for us. Ego comes from fear, So yeah, that's one of the things that we need to work on, is to release fear that we have.
Yes, and I think unfortunately the technology that we have today, that kids grow up using second nature, it promotes an inner emptiness. So that we're always focused on the outside. We're always got our faces in our iPhones and everything else, and it does, I think, breed a high level of emptiness on the inside.
Yeah, and I think that also it's the role of the shamans or the elders. And I called elders not necessarily just shamans, but it's the head of the community. It's the people in the head of the government, or the head of the cities, the towns, is to become elders.
Yes.
That's elders is not if you're old or not, but it's the way you help other people to become a better version of themselves, and make sure that their dreams come true, or the well-being of the community. And the idea is that when the community, and that's really the message for the Earth Day today, is that the health of the community is your own health. The health of the earth is your own survival. So we are all in it together. We're not separate. We can't take ourselves. You can't say that, okay, so I'm going to make $1 billion, and the other guys will live in the homeless shelter, and it's that person's problem because he's lazy or he can't. Because that person would get sick and they will infect me. That's how it works. There's no free lunch.
No. There's no free cheese in the mousetrap. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a beautiful way of saying it. Sure.
Well,
no, there's nothing fun.
Yeah, Itzhak, it's been such a pleasure, again, having you here. We always love having you here on Supernatural Girlz Radio. Thank you so much, and I just want to encourage people to buy your books, read them. They're all fabulous, and your website. Please give everybody your website so they can contact you if they're interested in participating in any of the Zoom webinars that you're doing.
Yeah, that's so beautiful now in this Zoom webinars and teaching, is that we have classes that people are from all over the world. My students from Switzerland, from Italy, from Germany, from Israel, from wherever
and they can't
are.
infect
Mauritius.
you because you're not near them, so that's all good. So what's the website address to go to for that?
So, okay, my website is my name, ItzhakBeery.com.
ItzhakBeery.com.
Yes, .com. And if you'd like to be on my mailing list, I would be very happy to share with you all those teachings.
Terrific. Well, Itzhak, unfortunately we're out of time, but thank you again so much. Lots of love to you and your family. And everybody will be back next week with Captain Randy Kramer. Don't miss it. Until then, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another radio adventure with Supernatural.